So you walk into a massive sports bar on a Sunday. You look up and there are, I don't know, like 80 different screens,
Oh, yeah, easily.
5 different games going at once, and they're all playing perfectly in sync. And I feel like we completely take that magic for granted.
Well, we do, right? Because it's so easy to do at home. You just, point a remote at your living room TV, it turns on, and you just assume that same basic logic easily scales up to a commercial venue.
Right. But today we are looking at the hidden infrastructure that actually makes that magic happen. We are doing a deep dive into some pretty hardcore commercial product catalogs from HDTVSupply.
Yeah, and they've been distributing this AV gear for, gosh, 25 years now.
Exactly. And we're going to figure out how you route these massive 4K video feeds to hundreds of screens without, completely blowing out a building's network.
It's a great exercise, honestly. You take what looks like a really dry tech catalog on the surface, and you uncover the surprisingly complex commercial data infrastructure underneath it all.
Absolutely. So looking at the catalog, the core of this operation relies on what they call Wolfpack modular matrix switchers.
Right.
And we're seeing systems here ranging from just a basic 4x2 setup all the way to this massive 160 by 160 configuration. Let's decode that real quick. What does 160 by 160 actually mean in this context?
So that refers to the inputs and the outputs.
Okay.
Basically, a 160 by 160 matrix can take 160 different video sources. So, say cable boxes, computers, streaming devices.
Right.
And it can route them independently to 160 different screens in literally any combination you want.
And the pricing on these scales just wildly based on that capacity.
Yeah.
You can grab a basic 1080p switcher for about $150.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
But if you want a 32 by 32 4K unit, you're looking at over $1,750.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes sense because setting up a home TV is just, you're plugging in one HDMI cable.
Right.
But routing 160 screens, my brain immediately goes to just a massive volume of data, like a Hoover Dam of data.
Well, volume is definitely part of it, but a dam just holds water back, right? Matrix switching is much more like, well, think of it as a massive digital rail yard.
A rail yard. Oh.
Yeah, so you have 160 high-speed trains, which are your ultra-high-definition video feeds, and they're all arriving at the exact same time.
Oh, wow.
And you have to instantly switch their tracks, so they end up at 160 different destinations without a single collision.
Okay, so how do they prevent those collisions then? Because if you're pushing 4K video to dozens of screens, wouldn't a standard network just completely crash under the weight of all that?
It would, yeah. And that is exactly where really intense network management comes in. The catalog details these specific devices, like the Atlona NETGEAR managed network switches.
Right.
Because you can't just take a cable and split it 100 ways. These switches actively manage the traffic at a packet level.
So they're like the air traffic controllers.
Exactly. They act as air traffic controllers, ensuring that the data packets for, say, a live football game don't collide with the data packets for a news broadcast on the screen right next to it.
Okay, I see.
Which is what stops signal degradation in its tracks.
Okay, but that only solves the machine's problem, right? You still have a human being who has to actually tell those machines what to do, which brings up what seems to me like a terrifying logistical problem.
Oh, it is. But HDTVSupply offers a crazy variety of control systems to handle that human element.
Yeah, I saw they list free iOS and Android apps, Windows 11 PC software, web GUIs, dedicated WolfPad tablets.
Right, and even dual RS-232 and TCP connections for the real tech-heavy setups.
Wow.
They also integrate these processors for building video walls, so you can stitch together anything from a simple 1x2 setup to a massive 10x1 configuration.
Wait, where 10 screens act as one ultra-wide image?
Exactly, yeah.
Hold on, let me stop you there, though. I'm picturing a bartender on a really busy Friday night, and the sources mention this DirecTV app integration. If I'm that bartender, a complex web GUI or, something called dual RS-232 just sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how do they avoid one wrong click just turning off the Super Bowl for 500 angry fans?
Well, the secret is that bartender will never even see the RS-232 connection.
Oh, really?
No, HDTVSupply uses tiered control systems for that very reason. A network engineer who is programming the system, they need that deep, granular RS-232 access to write the actual code.
Right.
But the bartender, all of that heavy back-end infrastructure is deliberately hidden from them. They just get a simple custom tablet interface.
So they literally just hit a giant button that says, like, ESPN on screen 4, and the digital rail yard shifts all the tracks automatically.
You got it. The whole design philosophy is absolute reliability. You give the end user a foolproof pane of glass so they literally cannot bung the system no matter how chaotic the environment gets.
That makes a lot of sense. And, this obsession with foolproof reliability actually points to a very surprising customer base that was hiding in this catalog.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
We've been talking about sports bars, but the sources prominently feature government purchasing systems.
Hmm.
We're seeing things like TAA-approved products, federal GSA schedules, the SAM system, and the NASA CAP program.
Right.
And I will be honest, that is totally alphabet soup to me.
Yeah.
Why are these government acronyms front and center for commercial AV equipment?
Well, those acronyms are actually rigorous certifications.
Okay.
When the catalog lists TAA approval or NASA's CBOBby program, in plain English, it means this equipment has passed the absolute most grueling federal security and supply chain audits. It is basically military-grade hardware.
It is so wild to think the exact same tech ecosystem used to blast football games across 80 TVs at a bar is being routed through NASA purchasing audits.
It is wild, but if you think about it, the stakes are radically different, sure, but the physics of moving that heavy digital data flawlessly is exactly identical.
Right.
Whether it's a sports bar displaying a highly anticipated fight or a federal command center utilizing one of those secure 160 by 160 matrices, they both require just unblinking reliability, zero latency, and absolutely secure data distribution.
Wow. So, distilling down all these catalogs and specs, the big takeaway from this deep dive really is that AV over IP isn't just about plugging in HDMI cables anymore.
Not all.
It's about this incredibly robust network management and custom software that makes hugely complex data routing look completely effortless to the user.
Yeah, it really is a masterclass in hiding extreme complexity. The end user just sees a seamless picture.
Exactly. So the next time you walk into a venue with dozens of perfectly synchronized screens, look past the video itself for a second. Try to imagine that invisible digital rail yard quietly being managed by a rack of flashing switches hidden away in some back closet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think about.
It is. But as these systems become entirely I-key-based, it also leaves you with a slightly unsettling question to think about. If a sports bar's TVs are running on the exact same network infrastructure as a secure government facility, how long until commercial video displays become the next major target for network hackers?